Some Black from TV. Hey, Betty, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm always saying to myself, is there anything Betty can't do? Between watching shows and movies and then seeing how this started, I was like, oh, it's like this.
I can't cook and I can't draw. The other day, my daughter asked me to draw a horse, and I drew a horse, and she said, I said a horse. So that's how good of a drawer I am.
But coming into this series, what was new for you?
Um, gosh, so much was new. I've never played a nun before. And I've never had, without spoiling anything, there's a particular relationship in the show that I have that I've never had on screen before. And my father is an Episcopalian priest, and it was important to me to portray my relationship with, or my character's relationship with faith in a very specific and grounded way, the way that I see my dad has a relationship with his faith. I think we're either used to seeing nuns as kind of horror movie nuns or climb every mountain nuns, and this was a different kind of nun, and I wanted her to be very specific and multifaceted.
So what went to saying, yes, having mentioned all of that stuff, usually it's always about the writing was good, the role was good, or I had the time to do it. But then when you start factoring in, the faith and all, that's another component you have to think about. So what
Yeah.
would it say? Yes.
There were the themes of this show. There's magicians, there's faith, there's AI. There are so many different things. I talked to Teller of Penn and Teller, the famous magician. I researched magicians in a way that I never thought I would. I also talked to a handful of nuns. I Zoomed with nuns. Uh, I wanted to be prepared in these ways to kind of have my brain be able to work in the way that Lizzie/Simone's brain worked. Damon Lindelof and Tara Hernandez wrote these scripts with such care for my character's backstory, and really handed me so much rich information and really a map to who she was in a way that's really rare, and a total gift.
So when you work on a project like this, having done other stuff in the past, what are you getting skill set wise as an actress that has improved?
Um, I mean, For this one, I learned more about motorcycle riding. They would never let me ride one by myself. I became a better horse rider, although the horse did not like me at all. Even though we were supposed to have this magical connection with each other, the horse was like, I don't like this actress. Um, and always in true actor form, we think we're being so badass, and then we see our stunt double do something. We're like, oh, that's what actual badassery is. My stunt double on the motorcycle, Jolene, can do a backflip on a motorcycle, so that made me feel pretty small. But yeah, there's a card trick that I do in the show that I practiced so hard on and was so dorky about, and kept doing it to my husband. And he was like, I get it. You can stop doing the card trick. I'm not an 8-year-old at a birthday party.
And then just to wrap it up, obviously, when you're wearing that nun outfit, how is it weather-wise? How comfortable were you?
Yeah, I would say uncomfortable. When we were shooting the pilot, the habit was wool, like thick wool. And we were shooting all these big convent scenes, and some of the ladies who played the other nuns were over 90, and they were in the same habit as I was, and they were not complaining. So I was like, if the 95-year-old isn't complaining, I don't think the 35-year-old can complain. So I'm gonna keep my mouth closed.
Congrats on the road. Congrats on the series. Keep working.
Thank you
I'll
so
see you down the
much.
road. Season 2.
Thanks.
Wilson Morales from Black from TV. Hey, Jake, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Every time I see you in a series, it's totally different from the other one. So coming into this, as and without going to spoilers, what would it to saying yes to taking on the role you're playing?
Oh my gosh, it's so hard not to spoil anything. But Yeah. Your question was what was what's the
What?
role that I'm playing?
No, not only what's the role you're playing, but what led you to say yes to taking on the role?
Oh my God. Well, I mean, I've never seen a show that kind of surfs across this many genres. So it's kind of like saying yes to 5 jobs in one. That's one of the most attractive things about this, that it can, be comedic 1 minute, dramatic another. It's a science fiction show. It's a quest adventure show. There's a romantic element to it. It kind of has a little bit of everything. So, you know, that is rare. The originality of the concept is so rare, and it's a Damon show. I did Watchmen with Damon, and that was such a great experience. And I've been, such a fan of Damon's work even before that. That when you see his name on a project, it immediately grabs your attention because it's going to be something special. And what he and Tara created with this show really is next level. I mean, like Watchmen, had obviously the original IP is a graphic novel, and it makes sense that building off of Alan Moore's comic, you can build this heightened reality world that was kind of HBO's Watchmen. But Mrs. Davis was a completely original idea with no source material to lean on at all. So reading the script and seeing that that's what they were going for, and that they were going to take all of these characters and let them kind of weave through this narrative in ways that are funny, in ways that are heartbreaking, in ways that are like exciting and suspenseful, just felt like, it was absolutely something that I want to be a part of. It's also just so rare to see something this original that I didn't realize kind of how hungry I think I've been for something. We have so much that's being made now, and there are so many sequels and prequels being made that, when you find something that's just new and different and takes as big a swings as this does, it jumps out.
Having said all of that, being it's an original series and there's no source material for your character, as you read the script or per episode or so forth, what would you say? At what point you related to the character?
I think probably episode 3. Episode 3 was that's when they go to the Excalibur battle, the big sword coming out of the ground, and we have the flashback to kind of the origin story of Wiley and Simone's relationship. And you see, them in happier times, and you see kind of the motivating force for all the decisions Wiley's made in the first episode and the second episode. And you realize that comes from a place of kind of pain, and loss and desperation. And that kind of endeared him to me. He also gets really funny and makes some pretty stupid decisions in 3. Jumping into a giant sword contest, not realizing that this is a complete substitution for what happened at the rodeo in real time. So I think 3 was when I really found my personal way into, how much it can hurt to lose someone, especially in a way that was as humiliating that Wiley felt he lost Simone. Mm-hmm.
Every episode is something totally different, which is why people will probably tune in to see what's going to happen next. Congratulations on the road. Congratulations on the series. You're always working. We'll talk down the road.
I appreciate it, man. It's great talking with you.
Take care.
All right, you too.